Hello everyone, I'm Smoking Joe Lasher, and today we're going to make some braised beef ribs in the oven. I got everything I need for my local Ingles, so let's get started. And if you know me, I start with a trip straight to the Ingles meat department, the best meat in town. I've got some beautiful beef ribs here, and I've coated them with some salt and pepper. I've let them set out for a few minutes just to really take in that seasoning. I've got a hot pan over here with a couple of tablespoons of olive oil. So we're gonna sear these ribs on all sides the best we can, and then we're gonna set them aside. All right, so we're back. We've got our ribs seared on all sides. We're just gonna take and carefully slide these over to a pan, set them aside. Now we're gonna work into the same cast iron skillet. I've got some diced onion, I've got some celery and some carrots. And we're gonna pour it right into there. Boy, listen to that sizzle. Just sounds great and smells even better. We're just gonna stir this up until the onions start to become a little translucent and the carrots soften a bit, but we're not gonna worry too much about that because they'll finish in the oven. All right, so our onions have started to become a little translucent. Our other vegetables are softening up a bit. I've got a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste. I'm gonna pop that in. I've got a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic, or you can also use fresh garlic if you'd like. And we're going to stir that in, let that garlic cook just for a couple of minutes. We want it to become aromatic but not burned. So it's important that you kind of manage your heat, stir constantly. We'll kind of spread that tomato paste just a bit as well. All right, so we've got that all mixed in. The aroma is amazing. I can't wait for you to smell this when you make it at home. So at this point, we've got 1 cup of dry red wine. We're gonna pour that in. We're gonna use that to deglaze the pan, meaning that we're gonna let it simmer, let all that alcohol cook out. It only takes 2 or 3 minutes, but we're gonna let that simmer, and then we're gonna use it to also scrape off all the things that have stuck to the pan, and it's just going to add so much to the flavor of this dish. Okay, so this is reduced down to about half of what I put into there. You can decide. I don't think you can go a little too long with this. Just kind of use your best judgment. 3 to 5 minutes maybe on that heat. And then what we're gonna do now is we're gonna add in a couple of cups of a rich beef stock. Then we're gonna add in some thyme. I'm using dried thyme. If you can find some fresh sprigs, you can do that. And we're gonna add in some rosemary, and then we're gonna add in a couple of bay leaves to that. Now we've got this ready. I've got my oven preheated to 325 degrees. We're gonna take our beef ribs that we've seared on all sides. We're gonna put them right on top of that. And then if you've got a nice Dutch oven that has a lid, use that. I don't have one today, so I've just got some foil, and we're just gonna try to, as tightly as possible, wrap this, and we're gonna slide it into that 325 degree oven. It's gonna take about 2.5 to 3 hours. You really want these ribs to just cook on the lower temperature, the 325, and let that steam and all from the broth just cook up into those ribs, and they'll start to pull away. You'll know they're ready when they're fork tender. We'll pull them out of the oven. So we'll see you in about 2.5 hours. All right, so we're back. So 2.5 to 3 hours later, we've got a beautiful rack of beef ribs here. We're gonna pull these over to the cutting board. Try not to let them fall apart, just like so. And while we were off camera, I made a nice little carrot and sweet potato puree. The recipe is online with this entire recipe, so please make sure you check that out, or serve it with your favorite side. So, this puree is super easy. Carrot, sweet potato, boiled, a little molasses, a little sugar. That's it in the blender, or in the food processor. I'm gonna take that. We're gonna go ahead and take our knife, cut these beef ribs down, like so. Just wanna get right in there. We've got 2 of them right here. It's actually easier if you flip them over like so. You can see the bone. look right here. So we've got 1, 2 beef ribs ready to rock. And then we've saved some of our stock from here. And I like to take this, you can actually strain it and reduce it down, but I just like to take it, pour a little bit of that juice that's on the ribs in the pan. And there you have it. These are braised beef ribs in the oven with a nice carrot and sweet potato puree. Perfect for your holiday menu. I want to thank you so much for joining me today at the Ingles table. Remember to explore the rest of the site for more great recipes, and happy holidays.